communication, lot of innovations have taken place, and today we are going to listen about one innovation in the field of communication, that is aerostat. That is cost-effective technology, and which is a cost-effective solution and alternative for the present system. To speak on this important topic, among us, the personality from IIT Bombay, Dr. Rajkumar Pant, Professor, Department of Aerospace Engineering, IIT Bombay. Let me introduce sir. Sir has expertise in design and development of lighter than air systems, conceptual design of unmanned aerial vehicles, conceptual design studies of computer and regional transport aircraft, effect of morphing in aircraft configurations, airline network optimization, modeling of ATC systems, airspace capacity estimation, and cognition studies. ATC workload estimation using eyeball tracking, development of algorithm for conflict detection and resolution in free flight, operational issues in air transportation, and airport layout and configuration design. Sir has optimized skills for application of stochastics and evolutionary optimization method to solve complex multidisciplinary real-life problems. Sir has membership of various bodies, life member of the Aeronautical Society of India, life member of Indian Society of Technical Education, member of American Institute of Aeronautical and Astronautics USA, associate member of the Royal Aeronautical Society UK, member of the Airship Association UK, member of the Naval Airship Association USA. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for giving us time for this symposium. Once again, I welcome you and request you to start your session.
तो नॉइज कसला आलाय, कुठला आहे अभिजित सर? Abhijit sir, where is noise coming from?
Yes sir, I am checking. Once sir, you can start presentation.
Okay, you take care please. Huh?
Okay, very good morning to everyone. After that excellent talk, I'm here to talk to you about one example of innovation applied for last mile communications. As you can notice, I am essentially an aerospace engineer, and over the last 2 decades, I have been focusing on one specific system, which is called as the lighter than air system, or LTA systems in short. LTA systems essentially are systems that work on the principle of buoyancy. So a typical balloon with which we used to play as children is also like a simple LTA system. So any system where the principal force that overcomes the gravity is buoyancy, that system can be classified as a lighter than air or an LTA system. We have a laboratory in our department in IIT Bombay where we try to develop this technology, and this presentation talks about one of our latest activities using a tethered aerostat system for providing last mile communications. This particular project is actually an outcome of the very unfortunate tragedy that took place in 2013 at Kedarnath, where there were flash floods. And as you can see on the screen, the whole town of Kedarnath and several other locations were completely devastated. Now,
sir,
what
screen is
Sorry?
not visible. Screen is not visible. You have shown the presentation.
Are you able to see it now?
Hello, presentation.
Sir, one sir,
sir,
share
your
your
presentation.
screen.
Yeah, I have already
Please share
shared
your
the
screen.
I have
No,
already
it is
shared
not
it.
visible.
Okay, wait a minute. Then if it is not visible, then
Share
I
your
Okay,
share
I'll-
and select PowerPoint presentation. Then only you are able to.
Like it's an-
okay. What about now? Are you able to see anything now?
No, sir. Sir, go to share option and select PowerPoint. Yes,
Yes.
sir. It is visible now.
Okay. Now it's visible?
Yes, sir. It
Yes.
is visible.
Okay, just a minute. Right. So as I was saying, this particular project is actually inspired by the tragic situation at Kedarnath. You can see in the picture there is a control tower that is standing on the right hand side. But such control towers actually are the first systems to be demolished. This is a temporary tower which has been set up at the location. But when devastation takes place due to natural disasters, flash floods, earthquakes, etc., the communication system completely breaks down. Okay, so there is a damage to the conventional cells, the so-called cell sites. The infrastructure falls. Now there are people who are trying to rescue or rehabilitate, but the remaining infrastructure gets very high traffic. This leads to a problem. It leads to congestion, and the rescue communications are hampered. Secondly, the first few hours after a disaster are the most important to plan and execute the disaster recovery, and this situation becomes a problem when the communication breaks down. Also, in many areas, especially in hilly terrains, there is a lower communication penetration in dark zones because of shadows or because of interference or because of any other factors. To address this situation, we were approached by the IT Development Agency or ITDA of Government of Uttarakhand to develop a system which was to be designed, fabricated and tested. It is a proof of concept system. This is not a system which can actually be directly deployed. It's a proof of concept of a relocatable, height adjustable last mile communication system. A system that can be moved from a location A to location B whenever needed very easily. A system that can adjust its altitude, unlike a mobile tower which becomes a fixed system. And while we were doing this particular project, another agency of the Government of India called as CDOT, Center for Development of Telematics, they approached us to try out their newly developed prototype of a Wi-Fi based system. So the objectives of this study were to demonstrate the efficacy of this particular system, to test the range and the connectivity of the data, voice and Wi-Fi payloads, and to also assess the feasibility and operational behavior. You know, a balloon system is inherently unstable. It keeps moving and changing its location as the wind direction changes. So many people had a doubt whether such a system would give a stable communication. And hence we thought, let us try to establish this by doing a trial. The payload that we chose to do this trial was a simple high gain radio frequency omni antenna, which would allow us to provide 2G, 3G, 4G data and voice communication in a limited area around the deployment location. This antenna is approximately 4 kilograms in weight and approximately 85,000 in cost. But to communicate the signal from the ground, we require a radio frequency omni antenna cable. Now, this cable actually is quite heavy. Those of you who have experience in working on RF signals will realize that RF signals have to go through a very dedicated RF cable, and this cable has a minimum bend radius, plus it's quite heavy. In our case, the cable was approximately 20 kilograms in weight for a 150 meter length. Hence, the total payload was around 20 plus 4 kgs and a few other kilograms for other equipment, as I will show you. When we took up this particular challenge, we wanted to first fix a few design attributes. First of all, we wanted to have a system where the two requirements of the balloon envelope, the gas retention and the load bearing, they were delinked by using a twin chamber envelope, as I will demonstrate to you very soon through some videos. Secondly, as I mentioned, a balloon is inherently stable and it is going to wobble in high winds. So we wanted to put in a very simple system that would make it reasonably steady. I will not be able to make it perfectly steady, but I can make it reasonably steady. And for that, we mounted a small sail such as that you see on ships and other devices. To make it very easy and to handle the system and to also work on the system when we are on the ground, we wanted to create a portable stand so that the ground handling is made easy. And there was a requirement to develop a dedicated winching system which could be self-aligning, self-locking, lightweight, robust, and quickly installable. So here is a conceptual sketch of the first system that we suggested. As you can see, the beauty of this system is its simplicity. So all you have is a mobile VSAT terminal that gives you the backhaul or the communication signal, which is then taken up via the RF cable to the RF antenna mounted on a dedicated payload carrying bay below a balloon. The balloon is very simple in shape. It's an oblate spheroid shape with a sail on the back. It is connected to the winch on the ground by a load bearing member called as a tether. And there is a ground station where you can keep the balloon when it is not being used and also helps in working around the system. Okay, so we call it as a sailed aerostat system, which is connected to a mobile VSAT terminal. These are some of the system specs for those of you who are interested in the specifications. It's a system that was supposed to be deployed to approximately 100 meters above the ground and could carry around 35 kilograms of payload. The inner envelope, which holds the gas, is made up of LLDPE, and the outer envelope is made from the standard parachute cloth, the ripstop nylon cloth. And the payload, as I mentioned to you, is the antenna and the cable. The two envelopes that were designed and fabricated had some special features. The volume of the inner envelope was 70 meter cubes, so that it can give you approximately 70 kilograms of vertical thrust. And the outer envelope was just zipped onto the inner envelope via zipper at various locations, and a sail was mounted on that. Working with RF has its own constraints. One of the main constraints is that the cable has some minimum bending radius, and the load on the cable should never be transferred from the tether. The cable cannot take too much of load. So therefore, we had to get this very special payload bay designed, which was safe to handle the tether stresses, but also allowed us to mount the RF antenna and the cable without loading them, even when there are jerks in the balloon. The ground handling system was a very simple dismantleable system mounted near the ground, where we could use it to work on the system and also to rest the balloon when the balloon is not going to be deployed, when we are working on some payload on the ground. This was completely dismantleable, as I will show you in a small video. The winch was also a very special dedicated winch, easily dismantleable, self-locking, electrically operated with a remote control, and it can automatically align. Many of the things of this particular project will become clear to you when you actually watch the system in action when I play the video. Now, before we took it to a trial at a location, we wanted to do a trial at Ahmednagar, where we have some access to a facility where we can do aerospace related trials. This area is cleared by DGCA for flight trials. You can see that we were able to erect a temporary mobile tower with the help of Geo, and then we went for a simple inner balloon with a ribbon surface on the top to mount this Omni antenna. I'm trying to show you a small video now, which will explain to you the working of this particular system. So I hope you're able to see the video. This trial was spread over about 6 days. You can see the stand was assembled. This is the winch. This is the inner balloon outer ribbon, which later was replaced by a full fabric. The balloon being inflated slowly from the ground. And now we are connecting the tether onto the winch. And then we are going to subsequently attach the antenna to this particular balloon. This is a day and night system, so we have to provide lights on the balloon for nighttime illumination so that other flying objects are not inconvenienced. Here is the connection of the RF cable onto the balloon. This cable was then connected. You can see this black colored cable is connected. And this is the system in the deployed condition. On the balloon, we mounted a special device for its health monitoring, and it was deployed non-stop, as I said, for about for a 6-day period. And during this time, we were able to test its working for communication in a radius around the location where it was deployed. So this trial was successful, and then subsequently we proceeded further to improve some of the shortcomings that we found. And again, we used the help from 4Geo coverage from Reliance. We actually you can look at some of the records or the data shared by Reliance Jio about the connectivity that was available. You can notice that there are green signals which indicate signals from the antenna has been received. There are certain areas where you have red signals. This is because they were not the hills. So the details of this particular trial results are.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Pan sir, your audio is not.
You are saying my audio is not visible.
It is visible, but your voice was breaking. Now it is clear, sir.
Okay. So the main observations of particular trial was that we were able to get seamless day and night deployment for 4 continuous days. And during this period, there was absolutely no break in communication reported by the team of Reliance Jio, which was traveling in a small dedicated jeep all around this place, trying to locate the signal at various issues. We did discover a few problems with the antenna attachment, which were then modified, and our winch was also subsequently upgraded. Later on, we also realized that this outer ribbon is not a good idea when we give this particular system for deployment at any location. So as I mentioned, we converted the outer ribbon into a small parachute type outer covering. So now the balloon has got 2 coverings, the inner covering, the inner envelope containing the gas, and outer envelope, the light blue colored envelope, which is going to take care of all the loads which are acting. This particular system was put together in the month of June 2018. And you see in the photograph, there is an image of a building. That building is the headquarters of ITDA at Dehradun. So our team went to Dehradun, and this system was then deployed there for about a week during the day and during the night. During the night time, as I mentioned, we illuminate the balloon using special remote switchable LED lights. And I'd like to actually show you the working of this particular system, which was also inaugurated by the Honorable Chief Minister of Uttarakhand on the month of June. I hope you're able to watch this video, which shows us putting together this system in Dehradun. You can notice the balloon is now being inflated, and then we are connecting. This is a special station. This weather station gives us the data regarding the weather, humidity.
Sir, I am not able to see the video.
Are you able to see the video?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, video is not visible.
Even earlier video we could not see here.
Let me try again. What about now?
No, sir. We are not able to see video.
So do you have any link of that video?
Yeah, I'll share the link. All these videos are available on YouTube. I'll talk about it towards the end. Okay. So you will see that there is another video. During this particular trial, which was for a continuous 72 hours, we encountered maximum wind of around 40 kilometers per hour, but the balloon was able to work. The maximum deployment was about 144 meters, and we were able to establish 2G, 3G, 4G calling, and also test the Wi-Fi antenna given to us by CDOT. So the results indicated that with the RF antenna, you were able to provide communication within a radius of approximately 2 kilometers around the deployment site, and also Wi-Fi connectivity within 1 kilometer radius. But the most successful result we got was for the connectivity of the VHF signals by the police wireless antenna. I am very happy to share that we were able to talk from Dehradun to Haridwar, a distance of around 60 kilometers. And the police was extremely happy because they said that during disaster, the police wireless antenna is something that is easily installable. And they were very much thrilled to see that up to 50-60 kilometers also one can reach out to various people. So what is in store for the future? In the future, we are looking at various other applications of LTE systems. At the moment, we are working on a project for ISRO to use a balloon-based system for exploring the atmosphere of Venus. In the forthcoming Kumbh Mela, there is a plan, if possible, to install this particular system for aerial surveillance and communication. And I also work a lot with many institutes all over the country where students work with me and develop tethered aerostat systems. A project which has just been launched to develop an aerial tethered laboratory is by the BML Munjal University located near Gurgaon. There is a team of students who are working to develop a system which they will install in their campus for various applications. I thank you for your attention. And as they say nowadays, we have a YouTube channel in which contains all these videos and all the description that you saw. All you need to do is to go to YouTube and give a simple search for LTE Systems IIT Bombay. Please do remember to subscribe to our channel. As they say, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to never miss a video from LTE Systems. Thank you very much. I'm now open to any queries or any questions anybody might have. Thank you.
Yes, Sonam.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah, so I'm ready now for any discussion or anybody has any query.
Yes, sir. Babar, sir.
Sonam.
If there is asking for questions, if participants have any questions, please ask them.
Yeah. Please go to towards question.
Sir is asking for questions.
Sonam, switch off this presentation.
Yes.
Sir, once sir, you switch off the presentation.
Yeah, I have stopped the sharing.
Yeah. Sir, I think Sonam, there are questions. Many questions, I think. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, from Dr. Jatti. I could see the questions from Dr. Jatti and Dr. Shekhar. Yeah. Dr. Jatti?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, please ask question. Yeah.
Good morning, Dr. Rajkumar S. Pant, sir. Thanks for your valuable presentation. There is one query from my side. Sir, in which area of these antennas you are right now working, wherein our students can be a part of that design of antennas?
Well, as I mentioned to you right in the beginning, I am basically an aerospace engineer who is interested in applying aeronautical technology for various applications. I have absolutely no knowledge or expertise in antenna. In fact, in this case, the antenna was a simple bought out item, and one of my very close associates, he was the one who advised me as a consultant in deciding which antenna to install. So in fact, I would be very happy to work with students on various kinds of payloads which can be installed to do surveillance or aerial observations.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah,
it's a very
hello.
wonderful presentation from my side. I think that there may be many questions, but I would like to intervene here. As far as the loading the various kind of the payloads onto your systems, what you have built upon. So what are those parameters that you take into account for adding the various payload onto this ones? Do you have some simulation system before it for the designing?
Oh yes, see, we have been working in this area for last 2 decades. So what we do is when we design our payload, we make it in such a way that particular system can actually install a variety of payloads. So the payload carrying bay is not dedicated towards a single payload because today it will be this user, tomorrow it will be that user. Today if you want to put a communication system, tomorrow you might like camera. So therefore, the payload carrying bay is a very generic payload carrying bay. I just go by the design of based on the requirement. So for example, this particular system, we designed it to carry around 35 kilograms of payload to a height of maximum about 100 meters above the ground.
Can I ask a question? I'm Dr. Vijay Kumar from Bangalore.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Pant, it was a very nice presentation. My question is, can you hold the height for how long? Can you hold it for, I would say, 3 days, 4 days? This set?
Well,
balloon?
in the first trial that we did at Ahmednagar, which unfortunately I could not show you the video, it was a non-stop deployment for 4 days. And then the second trial at Dehradun was a non-stop deployment for 7 days. We bring it down only when we want to change the payload or we want to do some activity. If you have a fixed payload and you do not want to bring it down for any reason, we can have a content, because the beauty of this system is that its operating cost is zero. Once you install this system, there is no consumption of any payload except maybe the onboard batteries which are being slowly consumed for other systems. Okay, and it's also possible to send power from the ground because now we have what are called as conducting tethers which can be powered up from the ground. So if you use a conducting tether, then actually though it has got almost very long endurance. Commercial aerostats can be deployed for 1 month non-stop. After that, you bring it down only to put a little bit around 5 or 8% of gas, because whatever you do, some amount of gas will leak from the envelope. Okay, so therefore the long endurance of this system is one of its best selling points.
I have only one more question. Some flying objects like, helicopters, for example, they also fly low flying. How will you handle the conflicts?
Yeah, so I was not able to show you the video, but what I do is I install some warning lights on the aerostat. So that and also now we are going for a very interesting concept where there are going to be reflectors which will try to illuminate the balloon for any visual objects. So during daytime, actually the visibility of the balloon is quite clear. And of course, when we deploy it in a location, we always liaise with the local air traffic control authorities so that there is a no time issue and the other aerial traffic comes to know that there is this balloon deployed. But in the night time, to increase the visibility, I have installed remote switchable lights, LED lights. To conserve the energy, we switch them remotely and we put them only as and when needed. Now, one of my researchers has come up with an extremely innovative idea of using fluorescent paints which can absorb thermal energy during the daytime and glow during the nighttime without any power consumption. So in our next trial, we might try that particular system.
Thank you, Dr. Pant. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Pant. It's a very fantastic presentation from you. So I want to inform you all that Dr. Pant was on advisory board to install aerospace related laboratory at Brazil. And he also worked with Texas University and Virginia Tech University, and he also worked with NASA people. So thank you, Dr. Pant, for being with us. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sandeep, for inviting me for this seminar. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Professor Sonam Patil.
Yes, Babar sir, do you want to say anything?
Am I
I think
audible?
he's
Yes, sir,
yeah,
you are.
yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes.
sir.
Yes,
Thank you, Pon sir, for giving this wonderful presentation and complete knowledge about LTA technology and necessity of this technology in hilly area and some natural disaster cases. Actually, explain this process very well. Everybody understood. I think everybody understood how to develop this technology. What are the challenges and opportunities also. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Hello,
yes.
over
Thank
to
you,
you,
Babar
madam.
sir, being with us. Yes, am I audible?
Hello.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
you
you
are
are
audible.
Yes,
audible.
ma'am.
Please.
Yes, yes. Yes, thank you, Baba sir, for being with us as a session chair for today. Thank you so much. So we really get this kind of opportunity to listen to the words of such great knowledgeable speakers. So I thank all the speakers for their spectacular session on quantum computing, entrepreneurship, and development of aerostat for mile communications. Dear participants, note that the video links of session and link of quiz for day 2, they are shared on your email as well as posted in the chat window. Thank you. Now I request Principal Dr. Vijay Vadai sir to summarize about the sessions.
Yeah. Thank you, Sonam Patil, madam. Whatever the participants, those who have brought for this today's sessions in afternoon also, morning also, as far as in this particular sessions, specifically the session for the estate designing, specifically LTS systems, was to reach out to the last mile person, and the system which was designed actually deployable in the country and has been tested. And being the such an eminent personality to be with us, really it's giving the great learning for our engineering students. And that's why I will be requesting to all the some of the faculty from civil engineering, mechanical engineering, as well as computer and electronics and telecommunication engineering. I'm sure that some potential faculty will try to take the advantage of the knowledge base of our Pant sir. And I request Shekhar sir to integrate with this particular team, our team, so that our students will get benefited to do some new design and perhaps help into establishing the new systems as well as the LTA systems and facing the whatever the kind of the challenges. It is an extraordinary session that has presented by Honorable Pant sir from the IIT.
Yes, sir.
Rahul Bajaj has mentioned a really great insight about this research innovation, specifically from the entrepreneurial point of view, and what can be done for fostering the entrepreneurship after the COVID situation. Let us take up the many challenges. We have 17 problems has been given by some of the authority. I'll be sharing to you, and perhaps in the next session, I will be announcing those 17 problems which has given by the eminent scientists from NCL. So they will be also coming, and perhaps I will be spelling out the problems so that you can work on the various projects. Dr. Shantanu has mentioned about the really designing of the new material and getting working on to the quantum computing, because it is a necessity for creating the backbone to process the huge humongous amount of the data in the era of the big data. To access the huge amount of the data, work on this data, process on to this one, we need a quantum computing for the education 4.0, 5.0, and maybe the 10.0 era. Because quantum computing is the only solution, and he has really rightly mentioned properly with respect to how to create this semiconductor based material which will be giving the solution as a single quantum photon, which will be serving the purpose of carrying the informations with a lightest speed. Thank you very much. I hope that this session was very fantastic, absolutely giving the high quality of the knowledge and the wisdom for us. Over to Sonam Patil, madam. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, sir, for summarizing about the sessions. Now to conclude the first session of J3, I would like to call upon Dr. B.B. Musmade, sir, Head of Instrumentation and Control Department, D.Y. Patil College of Engineering, Akudi, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Sonam madam. I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Thank you, madam. Good morning to one and all. It's indeed my privilege to propose vote of thanks on this event of our institute. We are very fortunate to have acclaimed speakers with us for session 5 of day 3 of International E-Symposium on Research, Innovation and Entrepreneurship 2020. The speakers of the day, Dr. Shantanu Shah, a research scientist in quantum computing from US, Mr. Rahul Bajaj, co-founder and CEO, Maximus Private Limited, India, and Professor Dr. Rajkumar Pant from IIT Bombay. Respected Principal Professor Vijay Vadai sir, respected Vice Principal Professor Dr. Mrs. P. Malati Madam, all heads of the departments, faculty, and our participants. Let me start with the gratitude towards our management of Dr. D.Y. Patil Pratishthan. A wholehearted thanks to our Honorable Chairman and respected Campus Director for their greetings to this e-symposium. I would now express my acknowledgement to the Speaker 1 of Day 3, Dr. Shantanu Shah, a quantum computing researcher from Ohio State University, for his significant presentation on quantum computing and exploring opportunities booming in the field of quantum photonics, artificial intelligence, and the allied fields. Thanks to Dr. Shantanu for providing insights on your research, structural quality assessments of material, high quality instrumentation used in his computing world, and your collaborations with the well-known institutes. So thank you, Mr. Shah, for exploring your area. I would like to acknowledge our sincere thanks to Mr. Rahul Bajait from Nagpur for exploring his thoughts on innovation and entrepreneurship. It was interesting to see the journey of innovations of 10,000 years and the rise of innovations in the last decade in IT industries. We enjoyed your videos, sir. So thanks a lot for your thoughtful insights on how one innovation leads to the future transformation in the many sectors. We are also grateful to Professor Dr. Rajkumar Pant of Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, for his excellent analysis of development of aerostat for last mile communication. Thank you, sir, for giving insights of your innovative experiments of balloon satellite carried out at Department of Aerospace Engineering and testing carried out at Ahmednagar and other trials at different locations. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful session. Once again, thanks a lot to all the speakers of Day 3, Session 1 for sparing their valuable time with us. A big thank you to our Principal, Dr. Vijay Vadai sir, and Vice Principal, Dr. Mrs. P. Malti Madam, for their guidance, constant encouragements, and motivations for arranging such online events. Thanks to the team e-symposium for providing their providing this online platform, and also thanks to all the participants for being with us today. Be safe and take care. Thank you one and all. Over to Sonam madam.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for giving the vote of thanks. Now it's the time for a Sumter's break. So let us break for 1 hour and we will resume back at 1 p.m. sharp. So stay tuned with us. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, madam.